Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Now, I find it severely overstated that the justice system is broken and it never gets anything right. You know, there are little issues here and there, but for the most part, the justice system works. And I find it interesting that all these Democrats that are constantly complaining about the justice system are always the ones on the wrong side of the justice system. Donald Trump's guilty, deserves to be in jail based on no evidence whatsoever. They want to jail anybody related to Donald Trump. Anybody in business with Donald Trump being criminals, traitors to the nation, guilty of treason, based on no evidence whatsoever. In a kangaroo court of public opinion, they wanted to jail a then 17-year-old kid who clearly acted in self-defense, once again for total political motive. They talk about a corrupt justice system, yet they themselves constantly try to corrupt the justice system to jail their perceived political opponents. And so the irony is, the Democrats aren't discontent because the justice system doesn't work. Democrats are discontent and constantly melting down because the justice system, for the most part, works. People who commit crimes and are clearly guilty, and then are subsequently found guilty, are sent to jail. And if they're repeat offenders with multiple felonies, they're sentenced to more jail than the sentencing guidelines or at the top of the sentencing guideline. This is called being held accountable for one's actions. It's not racism or a white supremacist system. It's justice. Do the crime and you do the time. And today we are once again celebrating great justice being done, righteous justice being done, as 2 years of this drawn-out case, JUSSIE Smollett has officially been sentenced after being found unequivocally guilty for his fake hate hoax. Let me show you guys everything that happened. Let me update you guys fully. Let me give you guys a little bit of my opinion, of course, like I always do. But before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. And with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so JUSSIE Smollett has been clearly trying to play the system. The motive of his legal team has been clearly to draw this thing out as long as possible. It's kind of funny how things worked out, you know, it was such a slow roll over the last two and a half years. And then, boom, full speed ahead things went. JUSSIE Smollett stepped into court hoping for a dismissal or hoping for a new trial, a retrial, and instantly, judge denies JUSSIE Smollett lawyer's motion for conviction dismissal and a new trial. And then almost instantly, 10 minutes later, the judge moves into sentencing. JUSSIE Smollett sentenced to 150 days in jail for hate hoax, reacts in court, quote, "I am not in the mindset of self-ending," I guess we'll say it like that. But here's the totality of what JUSSIE Smollett received. On Thursday, disgraced actor JUSSIE Smollett was sentenced to 150 days in Cook County Jail and 30 months of felony probation, as well as restitution of $120,000 and a $25,000, the maximum fine you can receive. And after his sentencing, JUSSIE Smollett had a very, very interesting reaction.
Okay.
I am not.
Okay.
I am not. I am innocent, and I am not. If I did this, then it means that I stuck my fist in the fears of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years and the fears of the LGBTQ community. Your Honor, I respect you and I respect the jury, but I did not do this. And I am not. And if anything happens to me when I go in there, I did not do it to myself. And you must all know that. I respect you, Your Honor. I respect your decision. Jail time. I am not.
Okay.
I mean, you have got to be kidding me. This guy is such a narcissist. I've never seen anything like it. You know, a little bit of remorse would go a long way, but he insists on doubling down on this clear hoax. Everybody knows the man is as guilty as they come. For Pete's sakes, even his supporters know that he's guilty. They just justify his actions by saying, well, he was trying to bring attention to a greater issue at large. Yet this man still claims to be innocent and claims to be fighting for minority rights and LGBT people. I mean, give me a break. This idea that JUSSIE Smollett did anything for anybody else except for himself is a complete farce. Clearly, what JUSSIE Smollett was interested in was JUSSIE Smollett and promoting his upcoming album to try to kickstart his music career. Because of course, being a mainstream actor on one of the biggest TV hits, well, it just wasn't enough for JUSSIE Smollett, who felt as though he needed more, but of course need isn't the right word. word, he wanted more. Absolutely despicable. Jussie Smollett should count himself lucky. 150 days in jail, not even prison. He's going somewhere relatively safe and only got a sentence of 150 days. He might even be released earlier based on good behavior, which I'm assuming is going to be the case. He got a couple months in the county jail. Big whoop. I mean, he's lucky considering the severity of his crime. He faked a hate crime to try and sow further division in American society and label an entire political group as vicious, hateful people. He did something so truly despicable and disgusting, and all he's getting are a couple months in jail, plus 30 months probation. So ridiculous. And now he expects us to feel bad for him, and he maintains his innocence and expects us to believe that. Jussie Smollett is less innocent than O.J. Simpson. I mean, there are bad criminals out there. People who talk about their crimes in their rap songs, talk about criminal activity on the phone, on text messages, on their Instagram accounts, you name it. Jussie Smollett is part of that category and might even be worse. From the body camera footage, to the text messages, the traceable money. He literally started a criminal conspiracy, a hoax on the American people, and paid for it with a check. Not to mention he hired 2 Nigerian actor friends and tried to pull them off as white MAGA supporters. I mean, he is literally the world's worst criminal, and he continues to maintain his innocence. It is just ridiculous. So ridiculous, in fact, that even the judge absolutely excoriated him. Let me find this quote. "Let me tell you, Mr. Smollett, I know that there is nothing I will do here today that can come close to the damage you've already done to your own life. You've turned your life upside down here. Misconduct and shenanigans. You've destroyed your life as you knew it. And there's nothing that any sentencing judge could do to you that can compare to the damage you've already caused yourself," Lynn told Smollett shortly before the sentencing was handed down. He cares deeply about social justice issues, and for you now to sit here convicted of hoaxing hate crimes, racial hate crimes, and homophobic hate crimes, that hypocrisy is just astounding, Lynn later added. "There's some conjecture you did it for the money," Lynn said. "Frankly, I do not believe that you did it for the money. You were making, the evidence shows, close to $2 million a year when this happened. I don't think money motivated you at all, but the only thing I can find is that you really crave the attention and you wanted to get attention, and you were so invested in the issues of social justice, and you knew that this was a sore spot for everybody in this country," he continued. "You knew that this was a country that was slowly trying to heal past injustices and current injustices and trying to make a better future for each other, and it was a hard road, and you took some of the scabs off the healing wounds and ripped them apart for one reason. You want to make yourself more famous, and for a while, it worked. Everybody was talking about you. The lights are on you," Lynn continued. "You were actually throwing a national pity party for yourself. Why would you do such a thing? Why would you? I understand that you crave the attention so much, but why would you trade something like social justice issues, which you cared so much about? The only thing that I could conclude, and that I acknowledge there are wonderful sides to you, they're very giving and charitable and loving sides to you, but you have another side of you that is profoundly arrogant and selfish and narcissistic, is the only thing that can be concluded, and that bad side of you came out during the course of all of these events." Lynn later talked about premeditation as it pertained to this case. "There are crimes of premeditation, Mr. Smollett, and that's what you're all about here. This is premeditated the extreme, and I find that your extreme premeditation in this case is an aggravating factor. And then you start to lie, and you haven't stopped lying ever since," Lynn said in regards to Smollett trying to lie to the officers that responded first to his call. "You've been lying and lying and lying about this case, and that's why you're here today. You want to fake the incident down the street, try to get some attention at work, try to have someone else feel sorry for you. That would never have got you here. The problem was you lied to the police and you caused all kinds of consternation. You caused a major investigation to take place, which got many people involved and caused a great stress throughout the city and throughout the entire community here, and that's a problem. That's why you're here now. Those were the crimes you're convicted of, not the shenanigans out there, but the lying about it, making it up, and that's why we're here right now." He's absolutely correct, and once again, Jussie Smollett could have literally, once he was caught red-handed, once it was obvious, just admit that you were wrong. And you know what? If Jussie Smollett would have told the truth and would have opened up a real dialogue and tried to turn this whole thing positive and talk about bringing the country together and apologize to the political side that he tried to slander, maybe there could have been at least some redemption. But nope, just like all of these other social justice sociopaths, he continued to double down, continued to make things worse for himself, and unfortunately continues to make things worse for everybody else as the political, cultural, and racial rift continues to divide. Good riddance, Jussie. Justice has been served, and you got what you deserved. Kind of. If I was the sentencing judge. I would have given the guy a couple of years easily. That's what I got for you guys though. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share it as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm, hidden from non-subscribed viewers. I'm gonna get back to work though. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.